On July 3, 2026, a major biographical film quietly dropped on an Indian streaming platform. It had a massive lead actor, but zero marketing. Before audiences could even find it, the film vanished. Less than 48 hours after it premiered, it was scrubbed entirely from Indian servers. When pressed, the platform released a single brief statement. They blamed the removal on, quote, current developments, using corporate ambiguity to quietly erase the release. Off the record, a very different story emerged. Government sources cited immediate national security concerns as the real trigger for the takedown. This sudden deletion wasn't a technical glitch. It was the breaking point of a 4-year standoff with India's Central Board of Film Certification that began back in 2022. The filmmakers had already spent years trying to appease regulators to avoid intense public backlash. They even accepted a major title change, renaming the film from Punjab 95 to Satluj. Yet the film was still pulled. The digital erasure of the project mirrors the exact crime its protagonist fought against, raising the question of why his specific story is still considered so dangerous. To understand the threat, you have to look at the historical setting of the film. The Punjab insurgency of the 1980s and 90s, a period marked by intense, violent clashes between armed militants and state forces. Jaswant Singh Khalra navigated this landscape strictly as a human rights activist, but Khalra uncovered a massive, systematic cover-up. He found that victims of extrajudicial police killings were being secretly cremated in the dead of night to destroy all evidence of their existence. By tracking thousands of these undocumented cremations, Khalra directly challenged the authority and operational secrecy of the state police apparatus. His relentless pursuit to document these state abductions ultimately led to his own. Khalra was kidnapped and murdered. Indian courts eventually convicted several police officers for his murder, legally cementing Khalra's claims as historical fact. Khalra's work established a grim reality in Punjab. Thoroughly documenting the truth meant risking complete physical erasure. Decades later, director Honey Trehan and lead actor Diljit Dosanjh tried to dig up this buried history, and in response, they met a modernized form of that same suppression. The filmmakers argue their script is drawn from established court convictions, making its suppression a direct violation of free speech. But the state views the project differently. Visually recreating these sensitive events poses a severe threat to national security. Their specific fear is that these historical facts could be easily stripped of their context and weaponized as anti-India propaganda today. Caught between massive subscriber markets and strict state regulations, modern streaming platforms often choose the path of least resistance, quietly deleting the content rather than defending its artistic merit. The physical violence used to silence activists in the 1990s has essentially evolved. Today, it takes the form of a clean, bureaucratic digital deletion. This leaves Satluj in a strange legal limbo. To this day, there is absolutely no publicized official government order explicitly banning the movie. Instead, extreme regulatory pressure has created a de facto ban. The film is entirely inaccessible in India, even while it remains available in scattered international markets. By trying to keep the story quiet, authorities have inadvertently transformed a biographical movie into a massive rallying cry for human rights advocates. The conflict is now moving into a new phase. The filmmakers are gearing up for a prolonged legal battle to force the film back onto Indian screens. This attempt at a quiet erasure has instead amplified the public conversation around Khalra's story. Ultimately, Satluj serves as a live stress test for whether modern India can confront the ghosts of its own history.